Welcome back to the Wayfaring Warbler, a YouTube channel about birding in Massachusetts, New England, and beyond. Hi everyone, it is Sunday, end of the day, and had a really busy day. Yesterday we did Salisbury Beach State Park, and then we went over to Parker River on Plum Island, and I added 3 birds to the list. Today I started the day at Halibut Point State Park, and I didn't add anything there. It was more of a beginner bird walk with the Brookline Bird Club, but it was I got to see some areas of the park I hadn't been to before, and it's always good to have a refresher since I am kind of a beginner still. I was definitely the most knowledgeable of the group, which was shocking, and that's a good thing. And I got some pictures and ended up staying a little longer, and went back for a large group of purple sandpipers to get video and photos of them. Then I ended up hitting up a bunch of different spots throughout Rockport and Gloucester, including places I've been before. I maybe went to one new place, but I had already climbed the rocks at Halibut Point, so I didn't really want to climb any more rocks, so I kind of went to places. Nothing was too exciting. I did go after one rare species that was being reported, but didn't have any luck. And then I happened to get an eBird report, which I don't suggest anyone do this. But someone had reported just seeing a snowy owl on Plum Island. Now, I have seen a snowy owl before from really far away. Only seen through a scope, haven't gotten pictures. So, and that was last year. So I was getting snowy owls were still on my needs alerts, but most people do not report them, and for good reason. Snowy owls are a sensitive species, and there's a lot of not rules, but suggestions and best practices for how to view snowy owls. You check out the Mass Audubon's info. I'll link it below on the best ways to view a snowy owl in terms of distance, timing. Like I said, they're a sensitive species, so if humans start antagonizing them just by being too close or making loud sounds or interfering with them, they will stop eating, and that just leads to their demise. There was a snowy owl in Nahant on their beach area that had interacted. There was a lot of people going, there was dogs there, and it eventually flew across the causeway and got hit by a car after having its energy depleted, and it was flying too low, chasing after a seagull, and it died. So there's many instances of this happening. So reporting a location on eBird or the same day or when it's still in the area is really just not a good idea. I mean, of course, everyone wants to see them, but you don't want mobs of people going to see it, especially if there's going to be people who will not respect the owl. But anyway, so I did go see it, and it was a very small group that was there, and people were being respectful at first. Eventually a family did come, and there was just 3 of us there at the time, standing very far back. It was up on a roof, and this family comes up, and then with 2 little kids, and the kids are like, oh, can we go closer? And when the parents goes, I don't see why not, and they just walk up to the house. They trespass next to the house, walking on their side yard, and are getting up right up to it. And then they let the kids start yelling and screaming, waving their arms. I mean, it was horrific. When they finally walked back, they half-heartedly apologized for the screaming and yelling, and we had to educate them on the fact that it's a sensitive species and why we were standing where we did. We weren't standing where we did because we wanted better pictures. We were standing where we were because that's about as close as you can get, while respecting the owl, like I said. So that is just like my first instance of seeing one up close that I could photograph, and like I experienced that. So this is 100% why people need to be so cognizant of their surroundings and educate other people on how to deal with snowy owls. So I got the snowy owl, I got some video, I got some photos. I mean, I'm just happy I got it. It's not like this snowy owl picture it's gonna like win awards and sell a bunch of pictures. But like, you know, if that happens one day, it happens. But like, I'm not gonna go cause a scene to get this bird to do something so I can get better pictures. Lifer photo and a bird to add to the year list. So since I broke this video up into 2 parts, let's jump into the snowy owl video and photos. He was on the highest rooftop in the area of this part of the neighborhood. These photos were taken with my long lens, cropped, but still decent photos. And here's a shot I got where he only really moved once, but he was scratching his face with his foot, and it was cute. So that's it for today. I do have one more day. Unfortunately, it's going to snow a good amount tonight, so that might impact my plans for tomorrow. Right now I'm here at Parker River. I ended up here because the snowy owl was at Plum Island, so I tried to find a Bohemian waxwing that was being spotted. No luck. Yeah, so we're gonna, I guess tomorrow, figure out what we're gonna do. It's gonna snow a few inches tonight. Well, at my house maybe 3 to 5. Here maybe not so much, but it may open delayed opening tomorrow because I need a plow and stuff. So we'll see. Maybe I'll go elsewhere in the morning, somewhere that doesn't have a lot of like snow that needs to be walked through. I don't know. Figure it out. We're gonna have to review the list. What I do is I review the list of, like, I have a needs alert email I get every hour, and so I can kind of see what people have been seeing and what's still on my list for the year. So at this point, we've kind of got all the common stuff for this time of year, so it's gonna be slower, but I'm still looking for good photos and good experiences to share here on the channel, and for myself, of course. That's the whole point of birding. It's for yourself, and bring awareness to nature and different causes like the snowy owl. So I will talk to you guys later. So with the snow, the amount of snow that came, I did decide to hit up Salisbury Beach State Reservation again. Parker River did open delayed after 11 a.m. that day. So they were plowing quite steadily since it's a state, and as soon as I went through the entrance, I saw this group of horned larks, and this is the best footage I've gotten. This is the first time I've gotten a photo of the horned larks with horns. You can see those 2 little points at the top, like perfect. Was really excited for this picture when I saw it. I then went and checked my typical spots. There was a bunch of birds again at the birdseed area. So sat there for a while. Once again, saw the pine warbler. Got a better image of a mourning dove. And at this point, just continuing to try to get good photos of all the different birds. I was also keeping an eye out for the Junco subspecies Oregon because one had been spotted. They have a lighter brown body with a darker hood, but no luck so far. But I did catch a couple great action photos of a American tree sparrow fighting with a Junco. I think this sparrows winning here. I trudged through the snow to see if there's any seabirds, but the waves are quite choppy. And I was also, again, looking for any uncommon gulls because I think some had been reported, but I got some good photos, some ring-billed gulls. I really love this picture. I couldn't decide if I liked the bird in the back or not there, but I kind of do like it. It looks like he's eating him. After leaving Salisbury, I decided to start slowly making my way towards Parker River. There had been a report of a white-fronted goose in the Joppa Flats area, so I stopped at the Mass Audubon Center to see if I could see anything. I didn't spot anything then, but I did see some American widgeons. I got to Parker River like just before it opened and headed down to Hellcat. Didn't really see anything on the way. And decided to take a little walk to see if I could see anything in the pretty snow. And wow, the trees were covered with some heavy snow. I was getting dumped on by the trees. There was trees down across the boardwalk, but it was gorgeous. I mean, I'm glad I did it. On my way towards Hellcat, I saw some small birds at the side of the road and just saw some horned larks. And I thought maybe I saw a Lapland longspur. I wasn't positive until I reviewed my photos later. But that bird on the left there, you can tell the striping in the face coloring is different. And that was definitely a Lapland longspur. Unfortunately, not a great photo, but an identification photo. I also saw a bird fly toward the top of the tree while I was walking on Hellcat, and it appears to be a female purple finch. Later on, as I was leaving Parker River, going to look for that greater white-fronted goose again because there wasn't anything too exciting happening, I saw an adult and a juvenile bald eagle in the middle of the marsh. The juvenile here was sitting very close to the adult, so that leads me to believe it. But in the size, leads me to believe it is a juvenile. Eventually, after great effort, going back and forth, I almost gave up, and I was retracing my steps to try to find something I had dropped in the snow, which I found pretty quickly. But I was back at the Parker River Visitor Center, and the flock, I had seen it earlier for like 2 seconds, and then they flushed across to the ocean, to the harbor. And then they came back again as I was standing there, and I saw a pair of orange feet landing. And what do you know? It was the greater white-fronted goose. These geese are smaller than the Canadian geese it was surrounded by. It has a pinkish bill with the white around it. It's smaller overall, and the body was darker than the Canadians. I had a few extra minutes at the end of the day, so I decided to pit stop back at Parker River and see if I could see an owl or something. And I quickly saw a couple of people standing, wasn't sure what they were looking at, and then all of a sudden I saw a couple of harriers flying around and like with good looks. So I went over, and this male harrier, which is pretty exciting to see. People love it. It's called the gray ghost. I don't think I've ever seen a gray ghost before. If I have, I haven't gotten a good picture, but I got some amazing pictures of both males and females. These first pictures here are all the gray ghost. Lighter body, the under wings is very white, which is a little modeling. And I mean, I know there was someone there who had a giant lens and was so excited to he'd ever sees gray ghost. So there was a lot of excited people around watching this. And I really love these action shots. I don't know why I was getting such good action shots this day. This is a female or immature, much darker, browner body. The wings are darker underneath as well. And then the female ended up landing right near us and staying a while, which was really fun. So I took a few videos, some photos. You can see it's a little windy. And she was like rearranging herself here. But yeah, great looks. I'm glad I went back. This is worth it. So we're wrapping up the day over here on Plum Island and the weekend. It was a fantastic weekend. Really cold, but not the worst. Today was actually nice and bright. The last couple days were quite cloudy and dark, so it was really hard to get good photographs. And I saw a lot of good birds. I didn't hit all my targets. I didn't see any eruptive finches. I tried to hunt down, figuratively, a killdeer and a snipe that had been seen over in Newburyport Harbor. No luck on that, but we just makes us excited for next weekend and what will next weekend bring and what else can we find. Well, that's another one. Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed wandering with me today, give this video a like, subscribe, and turn on notifications to keep following where the birds lead next. Thanks for watching. Until next time.